I recently read an article that said 135 reasons why you cannot ignore video marketing in 2022. It is everywhere. We have several apps and we're all consuming it in different ways. But one thing we do know, no matter how you consume your media and your video, there's someone out there looking for what you do or what you present. Today, while we're here in beautiful Park City, Utah, we wanted to get away from the studio and just enjoy. I don't even mind that it's a little noisy and the sun and the clouds are moving. We wanted to bring that energy to this series. And I went through and asked each of our team members as to how you consume media and why that matters in the content you create. And hopefully this inspires you to be aware of how important it is to do your research before you start creating anything.
I personally really like TikTok. That's my favorite place to go and see videos. I really like how real and raw people are there. It gives like kind of a glimpse into people's lives. I feel like it's a really good way to connect. Plus their algorithm is amazing, so it gets to a point where they just start showing you things you only like, which could be a bad thing. Plus the comments are hilarious.
So as a media person, I use all of the social medias for the most part because I want to understand them. I don't think most people consider YouTube to be a social media platform necessarily. When it's not the first thing that comes to mind. Instagram certainly would be. But YouTube is kind of the best social media in my opinion because it's actually the most social because you're looking in someone's eyes, you're watching videos of people. And so I think YouTube ultimately is maybe the greatest thing the internet has ever offered us. And that's great. So I go to YouTube more than anywhere else, but I do peruse Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, and TikTok.
My favorite app for consuming social media is Instagram. I like the combo hybrid of photos and videos. I also feel like I did a big cleanse of who I follow on Instagram, so I don't follow really any celebrities or brands. I only follow my friends and family members. I also follow people who are doing things that I want to be doing with my content. So my Instagram is really well curated for both inspiration and the kind of content that I want to consume. I want to be able to see my friends and family members' posts, and I also want to be inspired when I go on social media. So I follow a lot of pages that are sharing positive informational content, but also people that I want to emulate as far as content creation goes.
I definitely watch the most amount of video on TikTok, but it's more like a time killer than anything, just kind of a distraction. A lot of times you're not even really, watching and consuming. Whereas if I need real information, that's where I would go to YouTube.
Obviously, I watch video the most on YouTube because that's the video app. But everything is basically becoming TikTok at this point, which is the other video app. So obviously I've seen a lot of vertical reels and TikToks and Facebook, whatever's they're going to be called.
Because Instagram is the app that I use the most, that's probably where I watch the most videos. I don't know if it's even the best app for watching videos, but that's where I consume them the most. It's been interesting to see Instagram transition into a Reels type format, and it's also interesting to see how Instagram is really boosting Reels and not really boosting photos anymore. So that's been, as a creator, something that I've been very mindful of, and also as a consumer, I'm getting a lot more Reels and video on my Instagram feed than I used to.
I personally use YouTube a lot for editing videos. If I get stuck on something in Adobe, I'll be like, I don't know how to do this. I Google stuff all the time and find a video that's really helpful, kind of a quick little, like, here's how you do this, and then I follow along in the edit. That's where I probably utilize YouTube the most. Mainly I would use them for kind of how-to videos, or if like my favorite band comes out with a new music video, I would go to YouTube for that as well.
I use YouTube to learn things and to waste a lot of time, and largely for work because I like studying YouTubers because we like to help people get more successful on YouTube. And so I watch YouTube because it interests me. I really like the platform as a thing. and I like how powerful it is, how much you can get your voice heard with YouTube. So in some ways, it doesn't matter what I'm watching on YouTube. I'm just interested by people who are good at YouTube, good at doing their YouTube thing. And that's generally what I like to watch.
My main use of YouTube is yoga videos. I love Yoga with Adriene, and learning things. YouTube is like my educational platform. So I don't really go to YouTube to be entertained. I go to YouTube to learn how to do new things. I also go to expand my mind and watch creators, teachers, educators, TED Talks, people that I'm interested in, and see their journeys. I also use YouTube to watch the news. I follow several independent reporters and journalists who are funded by Patreon or their subscribers, and they try to give a really objective view where a lot of mainstream media can be extremely biased. I really enjoy kind of the more independent news format.
I look at pictures on Instagram. That's about it. I don't really watch reels. I like to see my friends' stuff, unless it's of dogs, then it's always okay. But I don't, Instagram I really kind of utilize as like just a place to store photos and memories and go back and like, oh, look what happened 5 years ago, as opposed to like, I don't consume a lot of media on Instagram anymore. It got to like, everything had to be so beautiful, and it just kind of makes you feel bad about yourself.
I use Instagram mainly for just seeing what my friends who I never see in real life are doing, and for kind of stalking someone before I know them, because it's a good way of getting a vibe on somebody that you haven't met yet. So that's mainly what I use Instagram for. I don't really post anything on there. Sometimes I'll put stories up here and there, but I'm very sporadic as far as a poster.
My attention span definitely says short form content versus long form content. I think that's probably why I watch Instagram or TikTok videos over YouTube. I just generally don't want to be on my phone for more than 10 minutes consuming something unless I'm like trying to learn something. So if it's just quick short form content, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, that tends to be what I consume.
We like to put content out on our YouTube channel to help educate people so they understand how they could use video in their business. But we also use it as a lead generator. So we get people that, contact us after watching a video and say like, hey, can you give me more information? Hey, can you consult on my channel and tell me why it's not growing? Hey, can you fly out to New Jersey and film and edit all of this for me? So we definitely use it as a way to get new clients.
YouTube operates by suggesting things that it thinks are interesting to people who it thinks are interested. And so it's just built to show things to people. So it's a really great way of marketing stuff to people, to customers. And if you can figure out how to make it entertaining, then you've just unlocked the greatest marketing tool that exists. Because nobody would go to a website called ads only, but they will go to YouTube and they'll suffer through all the ads so that they can watch videos, even videos that show them products that they should buy.
I know that YouTube is an incredible tool for finding clients, partners, or generating leads for your business because I've been on both sides of things. Obviously, with the video allies and our clients, I've seen YouTube lead to leads and working with new people. That's been amazing. It's brought in a lot of revenue and income, but I've also been a consumer. There are YouTube channels, there are people that I follow on social media who create content, and enough of their free content that has offered me true value, and then suddenly they come out with a book, or they come out with a course, or some kind of paid offering, or a class or something, and I have bought into those offerings.
When I'm creating content, whether it's for our clients or for ourselves, I'm not creating what I like. I'm not creating content for me, right? That's the whole purpose behind doing like keyword research and figuring out what questions people are already asking. I remember when I was working for the news, they would, the upper management, they'd always be like, "You're young. What kind of content do you want? What kind of commercials should we make?" And it was like, you are basically just asking like one person, like one demographic, who cares what I like, right? We need to figure out what everybody likes, what the masses like, what they're looking for. So just because you consume a certain type of content or you like a certain type of video, it doesn't mean that that's what your target audience or your target demographic is wanting you to create. So you really want to consider, who am I making content for? It might be someone like you, and in that case, create content you like. But if it's not, then you definitely want to be doing keyword research. Make it easy on yourself, right? Find out what people are already looking for, and then just make content around that.
What I consume and what I create as far as videos and content go are just constantly changing each other. My interests determine what I watch, and what I watch determines what I learn about my interests. And so they're kind of one and the same. If I learn something, I want to learn more about it. If I stumble on something, I want to go try it if I think it's good.
The media I consume absolutely affects the content that I create. That's one of the reasons that I'm really careful about who I follow and who I subscribe to, because I noticed when I followed a lot more like influencers, fashion blogs, stuff that's kind of, I mean, it could be a brand, but as a consumer felt kind of vapid to me. I found myself wanting to engage with that more and also post more of that stuff. So now that I follow a lot of pages that inspire and teach me things, I feel more inclined to post content that inspires and teaches.
In the comments section, that's where we love to hear from you. How do you like to use YouTube? And how do you like to use other apps of social media to consume video? Once we hear from you, we can create more content geared to what you would like to hear more of. In this video, you get an example of how differently we consume social media and YouTube. In the end, we want to help you to be able to use all of these apps in a way that makes the most sense for both a solid library on YouTube and all of the power of these repurposed clips, which allow you to be everywhere. We're your video allies. You've got this, we've got your back, and we can't wait to see what you create and how we can help you create even more.